Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, ready. Hey, come on. Focus, defense, focus. Fast, fast. Okay. Huh, 6, 4, weak.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
They keep it with Crowell on first. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
58, boy, 58.
On 2nd and 12, Haskins. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You will. Don't be scared of it.
Third down. Here's Haskins. Got his man, Isaiah Crowell. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, we talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
We got 4. We got 4. 58, right over there, right over there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 18-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. They go back to the ground now with Crowell. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Crowell. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Ready, set, check, 55 to Mike. Blue down.
Now on 2nd and 16, Haskins. And Woods has it complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Mike, 55.
To throw on 3rd down, Haskins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Well, they took the shot, didn't get it, and there's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding them to 3, psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now. Let's go, Jack. Let's go. We got this.
On 1st down, Dukes. Robinson's got it. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and 14. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Dukes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the 1st quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. We did have 4 in the game last week without having some go-to moves with counters.
Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Yeah, that's what I do.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And he finds Stills, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. On 1st down, it's Haskins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm going back to you.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the 1st quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Operating from the gun. Dukes. He'll swing this one out to Richard. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw on 2nd down. Dukes drops this off to Richard. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now it's Haskins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
On first down, Richard. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Second and 1. That's caught. It's Malone. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
On the ready. 47. Check flag 47.
Oh, how about this on first and goal? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Saints' 11-yard line.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Second and 11. It's complete to Robinson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. From the gun, Dukes. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Josh Malone his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Tackles. Rush in.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, Dukes. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore right there on the coverage. He was draped all over it.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
They're running it.
Throwing again. Dukes. And this is caught at the 8. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those 2, and it's good for a first down.
Watch the whip.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They just do get the playoff as he looked to throw. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson. His 4th touchdown on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
It's complete. Stills. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 21 yards there on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And Stills bringing it in. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Ready. 70 ending. Come on. It's a party now.
Now Haskins on 1st down. It's caught by Crowell. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Haskins back to the air. He gets this one to Johnson. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. From the red zone now, Haskins on 1st down. Over the middle, it's complete. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Mike.
Again, it's Haskins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 11.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Haskins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
It's
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Lutz puts this one through. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On the ground, Richard. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Second and 3. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for Chicago.
First down, Bears.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Dukes. Josh Doxson's got it. Complete. The 20. Josh Dotson. Touchdown, Chicago. Josh Doxson, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Watch the boot, watch the boot.
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Looking for Woods that time.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Richard on the toss. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
All day.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He finds Robinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards the pickup there.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. From the gun, Dukes. Open man there is Malone. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 5-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
2nd and 2. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Josh Doxson. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as the Bears push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it again with Crowell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and 2, now Haskins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. That's pulled in at the 32. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
I got you. I got you.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dukes. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Richard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the Saints' 46-yard line.
To throw on second down, Dukes. It's hauled in by Doxson. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
Let's put that team on the clock.
Operating from the gun. Dukes nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Chicago. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Here we go. Out.
Again, it's Crowell. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Haskins on third down. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Man, I got you. Watch the safety grip.
They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. And it is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
So don't say nothing.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Ready. 7 to end. Check back 47. Night, sweetheart.
Looking to throw on second down. Dukes. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. This is Richard, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Dukes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Gay knocks this one through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
We own them.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. He's got Smith here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screen.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's taken at around the 40. Got to be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Dukes. He's got his man. This is Jackson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Give him 30 yards there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Back to throw. Dukes. That's caught. It's Malone. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, 80 weapon. Watch 24. Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch.
From the gun, Dukes. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Gay is on for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Bears 38, Saints 6.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my office?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eddie Goldman picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on second and long. Haskins, he's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Breaking the huddle, first and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Richard trying the right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now it's Haskins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Haskins. And got a man. It's Woods. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Haskins looking to throw on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Check, 47. Let's go, baby. We need turnover. Let's get that ball.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 12-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Chicago, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.